Yo, what is up everybody? It is MFBuddy, and in today's video, we're going to be going inside the mind of MF. I'm going to be breaking down recent Zero Build gameplay, analyzing what I was thinking in the moment, why I made the decisions that I made, and I'm also going to be pulling out practical tips that you can take and implement into your Zero Build gameplay now. So let's dive right into it, and I hope that you enjoy this video. Without further ado, it's the MF Breakdown. Okay, so in this first analysis that we're going to go through, I'm hot dropping Brutal Bastion. Now, usually I aim for the top ring. I scuffed my drop, and so I ended up on the low ground. Now, really quick, what I want to point out before we move forward is, and if you've been on my live streams, you've heard me say this probably 100 times, but when I go to a hot drop or a big POI where I know that there's going to be a lot of players, I always look for the floor loot first. Now, this might seem super simple, but sometimes we don't think about it because we hear the noise of the chest and it draws our attention. But if you do have the choice between floor loot or a chest when you drop, obviously go for the floor loot. If I was to get contested by somebody and I had the choice of a chest or I had the choice of floor loot, I want to go for floor loot because it is faster for me to pick up the floor loot than it is to open the chest, right? So if I get the floor loot and my opponent is opening a chest, I've had a gun for maybe a second and a half. I clearly have the advantage in that fight, even if it's a gray SMG. So I'm gonna go for the floor loot right here. And I know that I'm not contested. I see the glider icons, which means people are still in the air. It's not really the biggest threat yet. So I'm gonna take this time to start looting. And I know that there is some coolers over here that I can get some shield. Another tip that I think would be super helpful for a lot of people is to get really familiar with the POI that you like to drop at. Where are the chests? Where are the coolers? Because the more familiar you are with the POI, the more you can just run through it unconscious and still do really, really well. Now, this next moment right here, this guy decided to hop on the flag early in game, which is not a really smart play. So I'm assuming that he is not the best player, to be very honest. So I see that I'm in this guy's line of sight. I'm gonna jump, I pump him. I'm gonna mantle up right here because I wanna make myself hard to hit. I know that he's gonna mantle up at me. I trade, get against this wall, hit him for 57 again. Don't know why my shotgun was so not good right there, but it is what it is. Now I want to show you guys something really quick. And even though I assume that this guy was a bad player, after I hit my first pump shot, I still want to mantle up. And I see a lot of players make this mistake, but I don't necessarily need to 50-50 this guy right here. And I know that a lot of players, even if they'll hit a big pump like this and they'll still go for 50-50s, you'll win those a lot of times. But I did want to respect the game and how quickly it can turn. So I pump him and I immediately am looking for a different position on him. I am now hugging this wall, this barrier right in front of me. And notice how I did that. I mantled up and I literally like glue against this wall. Boom. I see him jump up, tag him again. Then boom, look, I like glue against the next wall. So I'm wanting to keep myself out of this player's sight, hit him again for 57, and we just trade right there, and it is GG's for him. Okay, so moving on, that guy got me pretty weak. So at this point, I'm gonna focus a little bit more on getting healthy. I obviously only have this pump shotgun. After that last fight, I felt like I wish I had a secondary. I don't know why I picked up a second shotgun. Yeah, I knew I was gonna throw it down. So yeah, when I'm not contested, obviously I'm really taking time to get ammo. And also too, that is another thing. Don't neglect ammo on the map. I know that it can be tedious sometimes to get ammo, but it is super important to have it. If I see an ammo box 9.5 times out of 10, I'm gonna get it. So make sure you grab ammo. Okay, so now I'm focusing a little bit on health. I'm obviously getting ammo, like I just said. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna snatch up these 3 barrels. So right here, I know that there's the 3 barrels, but I'm gonna put on the minis first because I want to get the maximum health possible. And here is a quick tip. Instead of spending time pickaxing all 3 of these barrels one by one, I just pickaxe the floor and I get all 3 at once. Okay, so little tip when you're in a busy location and you need to get health fast and there's barrels, look down and see if you can pickaxe the floor and just put your body up against the barrels, because the floor will break and cause all the barrels to splash on you. Again, right here, I'm doing the exact same thing and I'm gonna keep it moving. This next fight right here was a bot, but there's still mechanics to learn from it. And as you can see right here, first thing I do is when I come up, I put myself in a position and I give myself a right hand peek. All right, so he gets out of my line of sight. So boom, I run to the next corner, again, right hand peek. And now I'm just waiting for this guy to come out. Very truthfully, I think it was AI, but the mechanics are still correct. I always try to position myself in the fight, if I can, with some sort of advantage. Now, in that fight, the advantage was using the natural cover, creating a right-hand peek, and knowing that I could wait for that player to come out, knowing that he could barely see me, but I had full vision of him. Okay, so at this point, I'm just looting up a little bit more. I've cleared out Bastion for the most part. I'm padding around, I'm kind of scoping. I know that I have a bounty as well, and I see this guy, and I'm gonna hold height, I'm gonna look down, and I'm just going to fry this player. GG's, brother, GG's. Again, last minute looting, gonna grab all the ammo that I can, coming out with some good AR, around 254, 91 shoddy, 51 heavy. I mean, I'm already maxed out on ammo, except for AR. So right here, I am gliding in. I see that this player is rotating, and boom, I flick shot him. He's gonna get down, and easy beams. So right here, I'm gonna take you through my mindset really quick. So in this moment right here, I'm wondering, is this guy a real player, right? As soon as I see those grapple hands, I know that he's a real player, because bots will not use grappling gloves or other mobility. So this is a clear indicator that this is a real player. So as soon as he starts grappling, I want to grief him. And so what I try to do is obviously just get a flick shot off on him. And when I hit him down, I know that this is a massive advantage for me. Now, if I would have flick shotted him and he would have landed right below, it might not have been as clear of an advantage, but I just griefed this guy and I know that I need to kill him right now before his hands recharge. So in this situation right here, I mean, it is just like wide open, easy beams. GG for the guy. The biggest tip that I want you guys to take away from that though is I was intentionally thinking, is this guy an AI or is this guy a real player? The grapple hands is what let me know it was a real player. Okay, this next clip is actually from a viewer challenge that I did. I was doing duos, no fill. I think that there's some really great tips that can help you learn how to 2v1 if you're ever in that situation. So this is towards endgame. There's 11 people left. I'm gliding in, I'm looking for zone, and all of a sudden the guys up top, boom, they hit me hard with a pistol. So because I'm doing duos, no fill, I already know that I'm down pretty bad right here and I'm at a massive disadvantage. And the first emotional response happens right here. And the second that I get hit with that, I know that I need to start shifting it back in my favor. So I want to get to the ground as soon as possible, and I want to get a bunker in my hand, and boom, I want to get it down right in front of me. Now, this is why it's so important to carry utility, because in a lot of situations, this is the only way that you can shift the fight back in your favor. If you are somebody who does not carry bunkers and who does not carry shockwaves, I'm kindly asking you to stop it. Pick them up because you need them. So I get the bunker down. I immediately am trying to take time to pop a slurp. These guys are putting pressure on me with the repeater rifle, and I think that it was actually an NPC with the repeater rifle. Either way, it's not a good situation. So I'm waiting at this point for one of them to make a mistake. Now, if they would have pushed me right here, it probably would have been an easy fight for them, but one guy got impatient and here he comes, and I want to break him out of his grapple hands, and boom, easy kill. But I know that his teammate's gonna be right behind him, and he was, right? So I want you to kind of look at how this goes down. I knock him, and immediately I'm going for the bunker because I know that this guy's gonna be right here, okay? So boom, I get the bunker down, I get back in it, and I'm kind of waiting to see what this guy does, taking my time with a shock, and it turns out he's behind me right here. So at this point, I need to create distance, okay? So I kind of actually scuffed right here. I'm gonna shock again because I didn't go where I wanted to. Luckily for me, this guy got shocked away, okay? So one body is knocked over there and the other guy actually ended up down in the valley, which gives me more than enough time to get situated. Now, at the time, I actually didn't know that that guy got pushed out into the valley, but I'm taking advantage of the time that I have to heal. And now I'm thinking about going up on height. I'm just sort of looking for this guy, but I don't see him. Reassessing, looking for the situation. I don't know if this is the same player. I think it actually was, but what I'm thinking about at this moment now, I don't want the player that I knocked to get rezzed right here. So now I'm thinking about the fact that this has been a long time without thirsting this player. And so I am going for a different angle on this player. I see that he's coming across and now I'm just kind of waiting for him to make a mistake. So I'm actually a little bit nervous that the body that I knocked earlier is right there. And so I hit him for 125. I don't want him to get the res. Turns out he's over here all alone. And now we take a 1v1 fight, hit him right here, mantle up the corner, boom. Okay, now let's walk through this more slow motion because I think that there's a lot to take away from this. Okay, so we start trading. I hit him for 125. I don't want him to res or get healthy. So now I'm up in the air. I see he pops a slurp. I'm gonna redeploy and close the space between us. And bam, I'm gonna start trading. I'm hugging this wall of the bunker, looking for rights, not giving up height quite yet. Boom. Now he's coming up here. I want to mantle up this corner, surprise him. I know that he's on a slurp, but bam, that was GG's for that guy. But as you can see, I closed the gap right here because I did not want this guy healthy again. I knew that he was going to be on a slurp, but again, we had to take the fight. It was clear that he hadn't gotten the res off and I was healthy, did not have any more slurps. So it was kind of now or never. But you can see right there, instead of pushing directly behind him, I chose to go left, mantle up, get right in his face. GG's to that player. All right, so here is the last 2v1 fight that I'm going to show you guys. Right here, it is a 1v2 situation for Endgame. And now I don't know where the last two guys are until bam, I get shot right in my face, headshot. So I know that I need to fall back while I have time, put a lot of distance between me and these players because they most likely have mobility, get low and get healthy. So this guy is swinging. He knows he hits me hard. He feels like he has the advantage, so he wants to push. It's the right decision. So I'm giving time for my health to get back up. I know that I have one more slurp, but now I'm seeing if this guy's gonna make a mistake and boom, he's right out in the open. Bam, I'm gonna fry him and now I need to get in quick. I shocked, redeployed, and boom, I'm on their heads. I make a mistake right here. So this is actually huge. So when I come over right here, I'm on the advantage being on height, okay? So they're both down below me, but I overshoot, I make a mistake, and now I'm going right down into both of them. And instead of trying to just 50-50 this at this point, again, awareness. I know that I have two more shockwaves. So instead of trying to fight these guys, I'm going to shock back up and reposition. Boom, I'm out of here, okay? Now I'm back up at a massive advantage and I'm looking for him. Boom, gonna fry this guy. He gets cracked, 75 white. His teammate is going to try to push up. Now, this is huge as well. Okay, there's so much you can take from this, guys. This is gonna be good stuff. So, okay, so we're looking at the fight. I fry the first guy. He's 75 white. Now, a lot of you guys would think that I should try to finish off that guy because 75 white, he's one bullet. No, why did I not go for that player? Here's the reason why. This guy swinging up, he's up here. He is now the biggest threat. When you are fighting multiple people, you have to be able to analyze and assess who is the biggest threat, okay? So this guy coming up on height was the biggest threat. So I'm gonna make sure that he gets eliminated. So now I'm running over, put a couple more shots, I miss, but ultimately my goal right here is to try to close this out make sure that there's no way that this guy can get the res. And now I'm peeking over. I see him. I'm going to take some shots. And dude, this guy hits me again for a headshot. So when he hits me for the headshot, I'm going to pull back, get some distance, get a heal off. I'm going to thirst this guy really quick. And now what I want to do is I actually want to give myself time to heal. And instead of going right back to the place where that guy just smoked me, I am actually looking for a position that feels favorable and advantageous to me. And then bam, wouldn't you know, he's right out in the open. GG's, we win it. All right, guys, that is going to wrap this video up. I hope that there is something that you have pulled from the mind of MF. These are practical tips that you can implement to master your zero build gameplay. If at any point you found something valuable, helpful, or practical in this video, please make sure to like, to comment, to subscribe. It helps this video to get to other people and help other people improve at Fortnite Zero Build. My name is MFBuddy. This was the MF Breakdown. Until next time, everybody, GG's.